How we doing?
All right, how we doing?
Oh, not too bad. I'm trying to organize myself and put all my food stuff together.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, everybody, to episode 105 of Like the Way You Drink podcast. I'm your co-host, along with my partner, Gladys Boutwell. Usually we come to this thing, we actually try to put something together really unique, really cool for you guys, just talking about flavors, talking about stuff we love, having a drink, having something to eat, all right? It's a party that we started 105 episodes ago, and we've been going on week to week. Tonight's episode, because it is, May, and May people usually kind of associate what with the month of May. What happens on May 5th every year?
Cinco de Mayo. Well, there's the May the 4th be with you. Revenge of the
we haven't come up with Star Wars drinks yet. One of these years we're going to do a Star Wars drink episode.
Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
But I think the week after we do it, we should do a Star Trek episode of drinks, just to appease both parties.
I don't know
if those of us who are in both, and we don't care. Yeah,
just hurry on that.
Those of us who don't take a side. Yeah.
Well, it's not that we don't take a side; is that we prefer one or the other. We're not going to be, giving in to the dark side of the Trek people.
Hey, if my neighbor over here is hosting a party, all right, I'm his friend. And my neighbor over here is hosting a party, he's my friend. If they don't get along, it's not my problem that they're not coming to each other's party. I'm going to both.
Right. There's that. It's true story. Yes.
And that's the way I look at it. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about some tacos since it is the Cinco de Mayo month. All right. A Mexican beer that we all know is my favorite beer. All right. I know this month we're talking about my favorites, apparently, because last week we had my favorite of moonshine. This week we have my favorite beer. And yes, it's not because I was into Fast and Furious. It just, to me, it was the beer that I found that tastes that if I'm going to drink just a regular beer, all right, I'm going to drink it. All right. And that is Corona. Now, I prefer Corona Light, but I will drink a Corona Extra. All right. To me, there's not much of a difference. I like the taste of them both. One has a little fuller body. The other one's a little lighter body. I don't drink light because I'm watching my figure.
I watch my figure grow when I don't, watch what I'm. Yeah. Well, I'm usually pretty good, but yes, there's times that it is what it is. There are a lot of different Coronas. So when it comes to Corona Extra, which is this one, this one is a little bit between a heavier European import and a lighter domestic beer. So it's that cerveza that is made for the beach, the backyard, whatever you're feeling. 13.9 grams of carb, 4.6 alcohol by volume, and 148 calories. Now, what Tim is drinking, that one is somebody that wants a slightly lighter flavor. It's a Pilsner style lager with that refreshness that's still ideal for those long summer days that are just, you want to be in the shade. And that one has 4.8 grams of carbs, 4% alcohol by volume, and only 99 calories. So it depends on what you're into. This one's fruit honey malt. His is also fruit honey malt, but it's a little bit clean and light notes of hops. This one's a little bit more crisp and clean and well balanced.
But there's a rule when you have a Corona. Got to have the lime.
Yes, got it in here. So the one thing that when I was looking up stuff, this one it goes with just about everything, whereas the light is more seen as going with spicy foods, citrus infused dishes. So I was like, oh, well, that's interesting that they're looking at it that way. So very specific. What I really wanted was the familiar. That's the one that comes in the brown bottle.
Yeah.
One is a little bit heavier. It's yes, and I'm still cutting up the stuff for my taco salad, y'all, because I was a little slow today.
But when it comes to the Corona, all right, I have a rule though. I'm not drinking it out of a can.
Oh yeah.
All right, but because of that, I never drink it on a flight because in the flight almost always it's in a can.
Okay. Yeah,
all right.
That is true.
And I just like beer out of a can. I can't remember the last time I sat and drank beer out of a can. To tell you the truth, I like it from a bottle.
Yeah, the interesting is that my mama also never liked drinking anything out of a can. If it was a bottle, it was fine, but if it was out of a can, she wanted it in a glass. The other one that I like is Corona Premier.
Yes.
So that one is casual and entertaining. So you're upscaling it just a little bit. 2.6 grams of carbs, which I liked. 4% alcohol by volume, and again, only 90 calories. It's sweet, it's crisp, it's even bodied, and anything grilled, it goes with it. And if you didn't know, Corona does have a non-alcoholic. So it has the same crisp, balanced taste as your favorite Mexican lager. You add a lime wedge, it's good to go. It has 17.5 carbs, though, only 60 calories, and less than 0.5% alcohol by volume. It's crisp, it's clean, it's well balanced. So for those that want something but don't want the alcohol, then go with the Corona non-alcoholic. The Familiar, which is the brown bottle, that one, of course, 156 calories and 14.6 carbs with 4.5 alcohol by volume. But the other newer things are, going back to your can, are the seltzers.
Now, the seltzers in a can, I don't mind those seltzers in a can, because we did a couple episodes with seltzers last year.
Well, I don't remember if you drank out of them or if you put them in a glass, but they do come in 24 ounces. Your blueberry acai, strawberry, blackberry, citrus, raspberry, lemon. And they're essentially 3 grams of carbs, 2 to 3 grams of sugar, depending on which one you get, 4.5 alcohol by volume, and 100 calories. And then the other one that I want to try is the Corona Seltzerita. So it's a seltzer, but it's a take on a margarita. So it's the classic lime, strawberry, peach, and mango. So it is inspired by a classic margarita, and it's the various flavors. It's the hint of the real agave for taste, and it's supposed to bring that beach vibes. 4 grams of carbs, 2 to 3 grams of sugar, 6% alcohol by volume. I was like, ooh, wow. And then 130 calories. And they also have the refresca, which is a take on the, if you go to Mexican restaurants, some of them will have the big pictures of the aguas frescas. So you'll have the Jamaica, you'll have the pineapple, the rice water. So in this case, they're going with tropical. So guava, mango, passion fruit, and pineapple. And this is all to bring that sweetness, but not too sweet, but still refreshing. It's going to have between 20.4 and 23.6 grams of carbs, 4.5 alcohol by volume. Calorie count, though, 170 to 187. So if you're watching your calories, that's the one to really watch. So.
But the other thing we're going to do tonight is, well, it's tacos or taco salad. And the reason I say taco salad is, in our house, it's a throw together meal that we love to do. And it's not really throw together because it's really well thought out.
Right.
We have a lot of things chopped up. We just get chips. All right. Almost any kind of chips. Throw them in a bowl. Crunch them down a little bit.
Oh.
Yep. Hear my crunching it, right?
I hear you.
I'm going to move all that off because I do have a small desk here. But my daughter Jess mixed up the salad portion of it in a bowl that we basically have all the fixings of a salad.
Okay.
Basically, that's we have a salad here with a lot of things. There's peppers, there's stuff in there, there's cilantro, there's avocados, a lot of peppers, a lot of stuff that would be a normal Mexican salad.
Right. Okay.
Now we just pull it out with the tongs, put it into the bowl. However you want to scoop it. But we separated it because Jess and I may take a few days to eat this.
Right.
We want to put the beef in with it, but the beef is still warm. All right. We have the beef that we make up like a taco meat, ground beef with a taco mix to it. And we just add the meat to it. Sprinkle it on. And then add some salsa to it. To us, has been a taco salad. The things that we've now, and I know tonight we're doing it with Corona, but there's a thing that we found in our house that we haven't, and I couldn't find any this weekend. I have a little bit left of a bottle. If I would have found it, I would have gotten it and gotten it to Gladys to get a bottle because I'm pretty sure she can find. We found this by doing a tasting at a Kroger one night and realized they actually had taco meat as the pairing.
Oh.
And that is this Riuniti wine.
Oh.
All right. Very well with taco meat. And that's how we discovered it. So, and it's probably like $7 to $10 price point.
Okay.
Maybe as high as 15. I don't know. It's been a while since I've personally picked it up, but it is a great pairing with the taco salad. And normally you think, beer and taco, right? You never think wine and tacos. This was a surprise that we found, and I wish, like I said, I wish we only planned this last week. I wish we planned it ahead of time, so I would have found some and had Gladys get some so we could try it together. Because this bottle here is kind of used for cooking stage. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
We don't have a fresh bottle here, and I don't believe in doing it in a non-fresh bottle.
Right. So the way that I did my taco salad was that I put the lettuce at the bottom, the taco meat right here. And usually when I do tacos, I usually like the soft shell with specific like a pork. But in this case, I went with ground beef. And I did say, I'm going to make, just a regular taco with one of these little shell guys. But I put the taco meat, the cilantro, the green onions, cheese, the avocado, sorry with the tomato, forgot, and my chips, salsa, and sour cream. So that was my take on putting this together.
Yeah, usually I've done sour cream and as well, but you can also do it with a good queso.
Yeah.
I like sprinkling the Mexican cheese on top of it. Right. All right, don't mix it in. You sprinkle it on top. And we never mix the salsa in. We always add the salsa because it depends on how hot you want to have it.
Right. And that for me, between the salsa and the sour cream, that's my dressing.
Yeah.
So one thing that I do that, is you add the lime, but my thumbs are too small. What I normally do, and you got to be very careful, and I might have done this before, is that you carefully turn it so that the lime goes all the way to the bottom so that it makes sure that the flavor goes all the way through. And then you have to be very careful as you come up because it will go and then you'll make a mess. So let the air out slowly. And then that will allow the lime to go all the way through. If your thumb is big enough, you could just, put your thumb over it. My finger is not. It'll spill everywhere. So I just use my hand. I just washed it, so I'm good to go. But now it's you have it there. And then the beauty of the lime being here is that as you're drinking, you're getting a little bit of that lime. Now, there are quite a few recipes that you can get online, not just for Corona, but also drinks. Drinks made with Corona as well as food. So if you look up Corona, you'll find quite a few. One of the recipes that I thought, I kind of like this one, is the and I'm not going to make it because I didn't do the simple syrup, but it's the fresh Mex, which is spicy tequila beer cocktail. It has tequila. It's got the Premier, so it's not the extra, it's the Premier. Lemon juice, jalapeno simple syrup, and mixed together. There was a rosemary lime shady that sounded just very refreshing. But the Corona Sunrise is the one that really grabbed me. When Drizzly was around, they're the ones that came up with the Corona Sunrise. But it is essentially, it's Corona Extra, tequila, orange juice, grenadine, and a lime wedge. So you put this, then do the shot of tequila, you do the splash of orange juice and a dash of grenadine, and you top it off with the lime. So I might end up making that. I don't have orange juice, but I do have my blood orange liqueur. And since it's just a little bit, I might do it with that one. I have the grenadine. I have the lime, so I have plenty of that. So check out their website. And as you're doing that, you're going to find out all the things that Corona is doing. And I'm like, when I was looking at their history, I was going, wow, I don't know that I ever had paid that much attention to Corona. One of them is that their expansion began in the South, in the Southwest here in the US. And those tourists coming back from Mexico were bringing that beer up, because they wanted to feel like, hey, I'm still having a little bit of sunshine. And it wasn't until 1979 where Corona Extra was first introduced, and it became synonymous very quickly. It was just accepted. Late 20s is when people started to ask for the calorie conscious beers. That's when the Corona Light was introduced in 89. And then since then, they've added a little bit more. The Corona Premier, low carb, low calories, as well as the seltzers. And they just keep adding more products. But one of the things that is amazing is their mission. And their mission is to protect our beaches. And I thought, oh my goodness, when Coronas, there's so many commercials and there's always a beach and Corona, Corona and the beach, and you see sand and beach chairs, what have you. So it brings us back to the beach, but they're working with Oceanic Global to help remove the plastic pollution that is in our beaches. And they have cleaned up over 100, or their mission is to clean up 100 beaches and remove 1 million pounds of plastics by 2025. So that is their goal. And they've already cleaned 47 beaches and 735,000 pounds of plastic across the US. So their latest was in South Dade wetlands in Florida, in 21 and 22, the Channel Islands and Santa Maria in California, and then 2023, Corpus Christi in Texas. So they're continuing to take action and want people to be a part of it. So take action, join the beach cleanup. So if you can join that, Corona's going to love you for it. And hashtag protect our beaches. So that's their hashtag.
Wow.
So protect our beaches. So that was kind of cool to find out about them. I was like, I had no idea what, when an organization's mission, why they're doing what they're doing, it's pretty cool, so it's not just about beer, it's about how can they do positive things in our community and in our beaches.
Anyway, many times a food company that has a mission behind it like that, usually something drives them to make better beer, or a better product. And if you notice, people who have a mission, they always create a better product. Maybe we need to get a mission. Our mission is to get you drunk and get you a ride home. I'm kidding.
The one thing with this taco salad, y'all, is that I started with tacos, but I hadn't built them yet. And then Tim said, you do realize I said taco salad? And I went, that's easy. And these are things that I had on hand. And truly, when you're looking, and your salad doesn't necessarily have to be lettuce. Lettuce is one of the base ingredients, but cabbage, kale, any type of green can be your base. If you're having a bowl, then the rice is your base, or the beans are your base. But if you're having a taco salad, you can put, if you have a shell, so that's the other thing that you can do is you do a shell, you can then put beans and then all your ingredients.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a bowl, but because you have the shell, that makes makes everything stick. And when you do have it, you do want beans at the bottom, especially refried, because that helps protect so that the juices don't soak all the way to the bottom. And then you have a soggy taco shell.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is an easy go-to.
Yeah.
And very healthy because you don't have like all the crunchy, all the shells. And the other thing I was going to do is chips and salsa, because for me, chips and salsa is a go-to snack. That's pretty healthy.
It is. One of the neat things about taco salad that I've done, and I've done this with the tacos, is I always keep an extra shell. And whatever falls into the shell creates a whole other taco.
right?
Just saying.
Mm. But this was an easy one to put together, and very refreshing, especially because it has been hot here in the Portland area. It was pouring down rain, and then it got very hot, and then it'll cool down, but then it'll start back up in the next couple of days. So, coming down to the high 60s versus the high 70s. But the Corona is very refreshing. And I'm going to cut my lime up here because I want to make that, but I don't need avocado in my cocktail. But just doing a little bit of experimenting is always fun. And so I'm going to try making that Corona Sunrise, but I'm going to make I'm going to use my Oregon Brewery Running Series because it's my beer one. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to make it in that, see how I like it. I'm not going to do like full shots because I'm not going to do a full shot, but I'm just going to use my Corona instead of my Sharona. See what I did there? I didn't mean to, but I know the goofiness. So, oh my goodness.
Hey, Robert, thanks for joining in tonight. I hope, Robert, you got some tacos. So, we were talking about Mexican beers. I grew up not knowing what Mexican beer was. I grew up knowing what Canadian beer was. I don't think we've had Canadian beer on here yet. And it really, really hurts when you actually have the tacos or the salsa on your hands and then you go and wipe your eye. Yeah. Don't do that.
No.
It can be hurtful. Oh.
That was something, I think it was one of the chips that went down the wrong way. But yes, don't touch your face if you're dealing with spicy anything, because you will have a world of hurt for more than a minute. And that's no fun.
I think I did that when I was younger and working in the clubs and stuff, and I had hot wings one night. All right, and my eye itched. And I remember those hot wings for hours. I think it burned into my brain because now I love wings.
So here is, I'm gonna need to get a picture of this one because that looks
the sunrise.
The sunrise, the Corona Sunrise. Let's get a picture of the Corona Sunrise. That's pretty cool. I can never get myself correctly placed in okay, come on, smile for me. You're going to be in this picture. Very cool. Thank you. So let's see, taste it.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not the photogenic one here. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's not too bad.
Podcast like tonight is like right up my alley, okay? Throw a couple tacos together and open a bottle of beer. It's a guy's thing. What can I say?
Easy peasy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I made the meat yesterday, so it was ready for today.
So yeah, we made everything in the last 2 hours. So, so it was all fresh. But and Gwen actually has a mixture of spices she puts together to make her own taco seasoning. She doesn't buy a taco seasoning packet. I mean, and you remember, I mean, if you really want the packet and you really know the taste and you want it fast, to me, Old El Paso's got a great flavor packet that you can just put in with the meat and it goes. I'm trying to think. There's a couple other taco brands that do. Old El Paso is the one I like the most. So yeah.
McCormick and Schmidt.
McCormick and Schmidt's got a good one, but not as good as Old El Paso.
That one's and you can find that at Costco.
Costco, Kroger's,
Yeah.
Tom Thumbs.
Can you find Old El Paso in at Costco?
I haven't looked at a Costco to see if I could get it there. I'm pretty sure you can because I remember buying a whole bunch of taco shells there one time. And I think they have Old El Paso products. And, usually if you go into a store like that, the taco section's all together. They've got seasoned packets, salsa, chips,
and some of the seasoned
taco shells.
Is that they have wet seasoning, not your dry seasoning, which was interesting. I had never seen that before, but I hadn't paid attention either.
No. Now, our salsa and stuff, we have the, oh gosh, what is it called? I got to look it up real quick. We have the Mexican meat market just down from us. We go. And it is the Les Teca meat market.
Okay.
So we go there and get a lot of our stuff for when we're making tacos or anything because you get more authentic south of the border ingredients.
And what I love about most of the Mexican meat markets is that they'll have, I prefer the pork, the marinated pork.
Yeah. That
is specifically for tacos, and I love that.
Well, you go to their meat counter, and it's like you remember the old-fashioned meat counter, and they used to have the bend that they had the meat sitting on it. No, this one here is like a bend, and it's like row after row of bend of meat just soaked in it, and you pick wings, you pick beef, you pick fajita meat,
right?
You pick you name it, pork, chicken. Right. And it's the whole length of the store. And
well, for me, the only marinade that I'll get is that pork.
Yeah.
It's a very specific marinade for that pork. But other than that, I'll make my own marinade for everything else.
Yeah.
So
well, it's like my season for doing my ribs. All right. I've got a set season. I buy a base that I get from that is a Jack Daniel's recipe base, but I had to. I add salt, I add pepper, I add paprika. All right, things like that. I actually I add mustard seed to it, and stuff like that. So, but little things to do to make your recipes go good.
Yeah, sometimes you need a base and then you add to it.
Yeah.
Having these are Juanitas, by the way. That crispiness, a little bit of crunch that is always in.
These are from the
Calidad. I like
it. Yeah.
I like Calidad. You can get that at Kroger also.
Probably. Most likely we got it at La Azteca.
They're $2 or $2.49.
Yeah. And these ones here are gluten free because my mom's got to be gluten free. So.
Well, that's pretty good because I would think that would be hard to find in a tostada or chips. But I did like the idea of a taco salad because these will always break on me and I'll make a mess. And then I'll end up finishing by utilizing the sides of it to help me pick up my meat with the fork. So, I was watching this comedian, and she's a Mexican comedian, and she was everything was in Spanish, and then she says, well, it's really hard to explain a lot of things to foreigners, and she said, for example, if somebody asked me, what's on a tostada, I was like, oh, well, that's a tortilla with it has lettuce and tomatoes and chicken on it and salsa. And then she goes, oh, okay, well, what about a burrito? Well, that's a tortilla with the lettuce and the tomatoes and the chicken, and you can add a little bit of salsa. And it's like, oh, well, what about a sopa? It's like, oh, well, that one's different because that one's a smaller tortilla with the lettuce and the tomato and the chicken, and you add a little bit of salsa, So she was like pretty much saying that everything that's Mexican food has the exact same ingredients, only made ever so slightly different.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't, and the way the meats are cooked, and you can do different things, But it was just so funny, and I had heard that joke like 20 years ago, but to hear it again more recently, I was just laughing, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And, so I had to share with all of you. So that's, what Mexican food is tortillas, lettuce, tomato. So she used chicken. You can do ground beef. You can do everything, and a little bit of salsa.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Corona by itself is absolutely refreshing. The Corona Sunrise is pretty good, and I love the colors that
people can scan the QR code on a Corona bottle.
And where does it take you?
I'm going to find out right now.
I think it's going to take you to corona.com. Let's see. coronausa.com. So that's where it's going to take you.
coronausa.com. And the first question they ask is,
well, besides the accept the cookies, is your date of birth.
Date of birth, which
31. Oh my goodness, it keeps trying to play a video. Interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. You would think that it would want to have you put in your date of birth before it tells you.
Maybe that's what we need to do, is to put a QR code on our background for people to go join the Insiders Club.
I like that idea. It's Corona season.
Yeah. See, same thing. It's exactly what came up.
Check it out, y'all. There's a lot of recipes in there if you want wings and tacos and taquitos, and there's I think there was a hummus recipe in there. I mean, there was some really good looking food in there. Skirt steak. It was like, wow. Some of these marinades were easy. Some were a little bit more complicated, but they looked very, very much, ooh, this is fun. I think I want to make this.
I think I should try this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Did you already finish your salad?
I still have a bunch here, but I'm going to enjoy the rest with my daughter for dinner afterwards. I sampled between the two, going back and forth between the beer and the salad. I did make a very sizable dish, to be fair, but.
You had a little one.
Yeah. But lately I've been a light eater.
A good thing.
So it's because as the temperature goes up, down, it messes with my psyche.
I eat less when I'm hot.
Yeah. My office is very hot in the evening. So it's, and I just tried to kick the AC on based on my office because it's 80 degrees in the office.
Wrong. I couldn't work with it. And I love hot, but I don't want to be like scorching hot when I'm working. I can't think.
My office is the hottest room in the house.
Wow. One thing to note with avocado is very creamy if you get a good avocado. And between the avocado, the sour cream, and the salsa, or even if I omit the sour cream, the avocado and the salsa, that's my dressing. So I add no dressing to my taco salad. Do you add any type of dressing ever to your taco salad?
Just the salsa. I always use a good salsa. Now, I have been known to sprinkle limes or lemons across the salad. All right. And add the salsa to it. Yeah.
I did do that. I squirted it over the over the avocado, the cilantro, and then I came over to the meat. So I did put lime juice on my salad on top of all the stuff. So, because it just goes the citrusy, and of course it goes with your Corona or your Corona
or your sunrise. So it's just
it's tying it together. It's like just sometimes it's. Are you having Dr. Pepper?
Yep.
Of course.
Sometimes it's like water.
There you go. In your house, when you're decorating, sometimes you throw one pillow to tie in a color of something else. So there's a chair and it's a different colored chair than everything else. And so you throw a pillow on the sofa to tie the chair into the room. That's sometimes all you need. I had an outfit where I was, my tights were burgundy. My boots were black. The skirt was black with blue. My collared shirt was a powder blue. And then I put on that burgundy jacket because the burgundy jacket tied into my burgundy tights. So that just brought if I didn't have that, then the burgundy leggings would have looked weird. Or if I didn't have the burgundy leggings, the burgundy jacket would have looked weird. So sometimes all you're doing is bringing that little bit of flavor to tie in your cocktail with your food.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was that lemon citrus flavor that is tying everything in.
Cool. Because I will say this is one thing I will do when I have a Corona is I will finish it on air.
Num num num.
Every time.
And it's not the baby one because you've brought on the little Coronita.
No, I don't have the baby ones here. No, yeah, they're the regular size one. I had to look because I have in my refrigerator here in the office. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bottles. Corona.
Well,
what about 10? But finished one.
Well, I thought I had Corona and I didn't have any at home, so I thought, they're at the office. So I went to look and I was like, I don't have Corona here. Well, there was Coronas in the fridge. I don't know who they belong to, but there's like 5 Coronas there, and I'm like, if I don't have time to run out to get Coronas, I'm going to borrow and have to return it. That was my thought. But I did have to run out for an appointment. And I'm like, okay, I have a long drive tomorrow morning. So I said, I have time. Let me go get gas at the Kroger gas station, Fred Meyer. And so I was like, as I'm pumping gas, I'm like, it's the convenience store, which is the same price as the supermarket.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. And I'm like, I'm not going to put myself through that. So I just went into the convenience store. They had the 12-pack and the 6-pack. And I almost got the 6-pack, but I'm like, well, $10.99, but for $7 more, I can get double. I'm going to do that. So I got the 12 bottle.
Well, it's that. I think the other beer that I have a lot in there of is the Negro Modelo. All right. Because Gwen loves that one. So we always got those are 2 we always have on. Other than that, there's a specialty here, a specialty there and there. But those are the 2 we usually have a 6-pack at least of each. I used to always keep a bunch of shine herbs, but we don't have as many shine herbs. We usually get those in a pack and then get rid of them after when they're done. So
right. No, that's a good one. I remember when I first got introduced to Shiner, I was pretty happy with it. And yes, Modelo's another one that I keep, but apparently all my Coronas are gone, unless those are my Coronas and I just don't remember that they're mine. And they've been sitting there for months now and nobody's touched them. So maybe they are mine. And there's 5 of them. So I'm thinking, well, maybe I bought a 6-pack, put them in there to keep them cold, had one, and then forgot about them. So there's that possibility. So who knows? Those could be my Coronas, and they've been sitting there for a bit. But I usually try to keep my stuff in a bin so that way it's separate from everything else. But yeah, I was like, I will need to borrow if I can't get out. But I did get out, so I now have 11 more bottles of beer in the box. So. But this is pretty good. It's quite interesting that it even tells you that you have 1.2 grams of protein. I didn't know.
In your beer.
Yeah, I was like going, that's important. And there's no fat. The funny thing is that Corona is made by Cervecería Modelo. So in Nava, Mexico, imported by Crown Imports in Chicago, Illinois.
Made in Mexico, but imported by Chicago. Yeah, I love that.
Right. And I will tell you, if any of the breweries out here, when they have a Mexican lager, that's always my go-to. It's like, oh, got to have the Mexican lager. They don't always have it. And sometimes when you can find it, it's like, I want some. There's just something special about a Mexican lager. And I think it's partially because you can't get it all year round. And to get it in draft, that always makes it yum.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love going to a bar where, there's certain things you get on draft. But if they don't have anything on draft that tickles my fancy, I always go to a Corona. Almost always. Give me a Corona bottle.
Right.
And
they're going to have it. That's something, it's a go-to. It's an easy one to have.
Believe it or not, I'm finding more often than not in a lot of the bars I'm going to that they'll have Corona in a bottle more than they'll have Bud Light in a bottle.
Oh, interesting.
Or Miller Lite in a bottle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even Coors Light in a bottle. I mean, they have them in cans on the delivery, but they don't have it in a bottle. Corona is the one that they'll always have in a bottle.
Yep.
And they may not always have Corona Light. They may only have Corona Extra, but always in a bottle. That's the one beer that almost all bars have in a bottle.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a Corona not in a bottle at a bar.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but yeah.
I mean, and I can't remember last time I've taken Corona off tap.
I never have.
Yeah.
I never have.
You know what I mean? If I'm getting something on tap, it's because I found something else on the wall that I liked, and I got that on tap. Corona is okay, you don't have anything I like on tap, I'll take Corona.
Right.
And I always like it. I don't go like, oh man, I gotta have a Corona. No, it's like it's the one beer I like no matter where I go. And I remember for the longest time, I think Corona Lights, it would have been a Corona and Corona Light would have been about 2011, 12 time frame.
Okay.
That I get used to. Before that, it was always Amstel Light and Heineken Light, which is same company. Same company, same beer practically. Two different labels.
Right. Oh my goodness. I have not had an Amstel Light in forever and a day. I remember that.
But my favorite beers, I remember the 90s. Do you remember Red Dog beer?
Red what?
Red Dog.
Oh, yes. I remember Red Dog.
I loved Red Dog, man. When that went away, it broke my heart. I loved Red Dog.
Yeah.
And Red Dog, it didn't matter if it was on tap or in a bottle. I drank it.
Yeah, I don't think that was a go-to for me at any time. It just was there. Mm-hmm. If it was there, it was there. That wasn't a go-to for me.
No, I do remember before. I mean, now we have such an array of craft brews on our taps, right? A lot of our places. I remember in the 90s when I worked in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and my go-to bar was a TGI Fridays at the mall across the street. And I remember them getting different things and getting me to try, but nothing like the craft beers we have today or the craft bars, with craft selections that we have now.
Right.
I remember that's the first time I ever got the Samuel Adams Cherry Wheat, which was a favorite. Yeah. Because back then it was Red Dog. All I drank was Red Dog. I loved Red Dog, And you think about, you think back to the TV show Cheers. What did they have on tap? No one ever knows.
Right. I was like, what did they have on tap? I was going to say, they told you. I don't remember ever knowing.
Wait a minute. Did you know that none of the episodes that was not real beer they were drinking, except for the very last episode, they were actually drinking real beer.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. And if you look at the way the comedy of that show with them sitting around the bar, the comedy of that episode, the way it went, you could tell they were getting in the sauce, baby.
That's cute.
Yeah. I remember that.
Everybody knows your name.
That's right. So, well, I mean, you come to like the way you drink, we know your name if you're a regular.
Yeah. We know who you are. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. So, if you want to really for us to know your name, go to likethewayyoudrink.com and join our Insiders Club. I think maybe we need to come up with a cooler name.
to grab their attention.
Yeah.
Because are they worried about something? So if you're worried about cost, if you're worried about travel, if you're worried about time, if you're worried about any of those things, you know what? Those are things that you really don't have to worry about, because you don't have to travel if you don't want to. You don't have to spend any money if you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's all about getting to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And those that are part of the Insiders Club, they get to know what's going on. They get to provide us input. We don't always share it. We sometimes keep things close to our, to our heart as to what's going on. But we're sharing with our insiders. They're the ones that are, in our ear telling us stuff. And then it comes to the rest of you. So make sure you join. There's no cost. There's no obligation. There's no anything. It's like, until
you're not even required to drink to be part of the Insiders Club. So if you are sober and you've given up alcohol, you can still join the Insiders Club, because it is a people who hang around. It's where people know your name.
Yeah. Give us input, because we do episodes where there is no alcohol, or we will share alternatives. Mm-hmm. And there's so many more alcohols out there, liquors that have no alcohol in them, which are fun. Those are like, I've tried a few. I gave a basket to somebody. She was a non-drinker, but she had helped me with so many things. And she was always so curious about some of the things that I had talked about, because she was part of the Insiders Club. And then I was like, you know what? Here's non-alcohol. I gave her 3 different bottles as a gift for everything she had done for me. And she's like, oh my goodness. I said, and here are all the recipes that you now can try. And she was like, I can't wait to try this stuff. So she was excited about it. So join the Insiders Club. You will have an in and a lot of more input than if you're not.
Yep.
Just saying.
So, well, do we have any shout outs on this episode?
Well, apparently my lipstick is taco salad proof. So it's to the Jefas. And again, I always have to look up the name of this lipstick. Sin límites, without limits. So this is Without Limits red. And I'm usually not a big red person for lipstick, but this is one that's kind of a fun one, because it's a richer red. It's not the bright red. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I can put another one on top just to tone it down a little bit, but I know it's going to last the entire night. And there's times that I brush my teeth, I'm trying to take it off, and I'm like scrubbing with my makeup remover to try to get it off. That's the only thing that will remove it. It's quite interesting. So shout out to the Jefas for making a really good product.
Lipstick on a collar. No, I'm not going to go there. I can't even remember the joke from What Women Want. How about a lipstick that doesn't rub off a men's collar or something like that?
Okay, got it. Yeah. Just don't give a kiss when you've just applied it, because it takes it a moment to settle. It will transfer right at that moment. But if you give it enough time, just a few minutes to settle in, then it will stay. It will not be on anybody's collar or on your, if you look, it's plain and it's clean, mm-hmm. and it's still on my lips.
Cool.
So fun stuff. So that's my shout out for today.
Okay, cool. So, and then I'm going to repeat, go join the Insiders Club. We're looking to people in the Insiders Club for ideas for upcoming shows, and we want your input to help us create an upcoming show. If you come up with a show idea, we will have you on the show to actually put the idea out. Other than that,
one more shout out, if I may.
Yeah.
To Sean's dad. He was so sweet. We had a gathering for Sean's mama on Saturday, and he gave us flowers. His dad gave us a little plant of flowers. So I have flowers that hopefully will not die on me, but that was so cute. So it's now I have flowers that I need to make sure they don't die. And he said, do I need to message you once a month to water your plant? And I said, probably. So, because I kill everything. I kill mint, y'all. But they're just the prettiest flowers. I'll post pictures of the pretty flowers that I watered my other plants. And so that one's now there. So that I just had to throw that shout out for him for doing that, because that was the sweetest thing.
That was awesome. So, Other than that, next thing we're going to do is our sponsorships. Every week, this show is brought to you by two people. All right. If you want to sponsor the show, by the way, reach out to us. We got sponsorship opportunities. All right. We prefer alcohol, food related sponsorships because that's who our audience is. They're coming here to listen to food ideas and listen to alcohol or drink ideas. So if you're trying to sponsor your coaching program, I'm sorry, this is probably not your audience, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We love your money, but I'm just going to be honest with you. Sponsor things where it makes sense. So food related, beverage related products and services, we are considering you for sponsorship. Even lipsticks, as you can see, we're reaching out, trying to make that happen. But our two sponsors are Gladys and I. We put this together every week. This is a passion project of ours. Our companies pay the bill. All right, to keep this going. So let's start with Gladys. Share us about your company and what you're up to this month.
So Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design, helping employers become employers of choice through employee benefits. If you want to learn a little bit more about how to provide employee benefits, let's start a conversation. 101 Employee Benefits, Creative Ways to Attract Quality Staff. The book is out. Check it out on Amazon. But if you want to have the conversation about it, feel free to go to enrollnoworegon.com or my website, insurancedesignpros.com. You'll find some information there. There on the upper left, if you can click the download of the white paper of those 101 ways that you can show your staff how much you care for them. Because nothing worse than trying to figure out, why am I losing employees and not keeping them? I can't be competitive. Those are the things. Hey, let's figure it out together. Even if you're not in Oregon or Washington or California, I probably know somebody in your state that can help you. That's in insurancedesignpros.com, and we'll start the conversation. This is my co-host.
Thank you, Gladys. My name is Tim Gillette, and I have a company called Simple Easy Websites. I'm the creator of the trademark system, Simple Easy Marketing, and one of the number one things our clients asked us for in the past few years was a website. Can you provide us a website solution? So last year, we started Simple Easy Websites, providing you 5-page templated websites to get your business up and going. We have two levels that we work with, like a 5-page template or a 1-page, unipage, single page, landing page, whatever you want to call it, page to get you up and going. You want to find out more, go to our website. And truthfully, I'm going to tell you this, book an appointment with me. All right. Because we're going to go over what you really do. I'm not here to just say, hey, go click the button and buy. Sorry, not us. We're looking for solutions to solve your website problems, not looking to sell you a website. So simpleeasywebsites.com. You will see the call to action on there. Book an appointment with a designer. That's what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen. Book a call with us. Have a Zoom call. Go over your website, go over your needs, and see what we can do to improve your online skills. That's it. What else we got? Anything?
No.
Nope.
Whatever we can do for y'all, reach out to us. Follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, all the channels. We're there. But the fun ones are Facebook and YouTube because you get to see all the visual, which is, for me, part of the fun. So
we broadcast this live on our Facebook. If you're watching this live right now, you're watching on either Facebook or YouTube. Just saying, that's where you watch it. Those are the two places we're able to broadcast live. All right.
If y'all give me a recipe or an idea, thank you, Sean.
He's sucking up to his girlfriend.
Guess what? I will give you a shout out next week. You want a shout out? Give me a food recipe, give me an alcohol cocktail, and I will give you a shout out next week. So that's all yours.
We could do that for a show next week. It's up to them to give us what to make. They have to submit it by Friday, though.
Yeah. Otherwise, we always have ideas of what to do. So if you don't submit it,
I guarantee you, somebody's going to submit a recipe by Friday. All right. And truthfully, right now the email's kind of messed up, but Tim or Gladys at Like the Way You Drink. All right. Or you can go to either one of our websites and hit our regular email address and it'll get to us. But submit yours, and we're going to do guests. We're going to do our visitors. We're going to do your recipes next week. Sound good?
That sounds good. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a challenge. I'll take it.
Challenge. All right.
Challenge. I love it.
Yep. So, and we will announce on Friday what it's going to be. So watch, because we'll put the preview up for next week's episode on Friday, so you know what the recipes are going to be. All right. But until Friday, you got till Friday to submit, And I'm not going to say the first. I'm going to say probably the one that sounds the biggest and can get the most votes.
Share depending on, we'll decide.
Yeah. So,
but if you're the first, that gives you a higher.
It gives you a higher ranking to get it. So, go submit it. So, anyway, guys, we will be back next week. Have a great week, guys. Where's our glasses? Cheers.